So you break away their needs, their status, their belief that possessions will give them something. You help them declutter. What are you going to work on then? Well, you want to get them focused on something. So you try to get them focused on what's important in life is not possession, but time. You need to value time over anything else. I learned this sort of a strange way. You know, I take techniques and bring them from different experiences. Well, I was Tevye in high school. I was Tevye in college. I was Tevye professionally twice. Or one professional, one community theater. And I kept doing this part over and over, and I said, there's got to be something I'm supposed to learn here, because God's making me do this over and over, and it's getting a little ridiculous. I'm going to be 55 years old, and I'm going to be doing Tevye, singing If I Were a Rich Man. And in the last stint I was doing it for community theater, I realized what the lesson was. Let me do one of the most popular songs from there, and I'll show you where the lesson comes in. When you're Tevye, you always place God somewhere in the room, and I always used to put him up in the upper stage left corner. Dear God, you made many, many poor people. I realize, of course, it's no shame to be poor, but it's no great honor either. So what would have been so terrible if I had a small fortune? And then in musical comedy, whenever a person starts singing, that means the state is changing on stage. So he's leaning back thinking, he goes, if I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Yaddle diddle daddle digga 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 dum. If I were a bitty bitty rich, yaddle diddle 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 man, I'd build a big tall house with rooms by the dozen right in the middle of the town. A fine tin roof with real wooden floors below. There would be one long staircase just going up, and one even longer coming down, and one more leading nowhere, just for show. Then he starts thinking about his wife. I see my wife, Magolda, looking like a rich man's wife, with a proper double chin, supervising meals to her heart's delight. I see her putting on airs and strutting like a peacock. Oh, what a happy mood she's in. Screaming at the servants day and night. Then he wants status. The most important men in town will come to fawn on me. They will ask me to advise them, like Solomon the wise. If you please, Reb Tevye. Pardon me, Reb Tevye, posing problems that would cross the rabbi's eyes. La-da-dee, la-da-dee, la-da-dee. And it won't make one bit of difference if I answer right or wrong. 'Cause when you're rich, they think you really know. Then the music break hit. And I never heard that music break before. But the music break was basically saying, here's the important part. If I were rich, I'd have the time that I lack to sit in the synagogue and pray. And maybe have a seat by the eastern wall. And I discuss the holy books with a learned man, 7 hours every day. That would be the sweetest thing of all. See, because what Tevye wanted was not possessions for himself, not to be able to buy his wife anything. What he wanted was more time. And when we sit and look at our lives, and some of us are getting older, we sit and look at our lives and you say, That's what I want. I want more time with the kids. I want more time here. I want to be working so I can spend my free time with my family, doing my hobby. They want more time. So I'm going to give you a technique to look at time. If you break up time management, you break up all kinds of behaviors into urgent and important, you'd end up with 4 quadrants. Urgent, important, not important, urgent, and not urgent and not important. You can break down the behaviors into these quadrants. Urgent and important things would be crisis, serious health issues. Quadrant 2, not urgent but important, are where people want to spend their time. In relationships, new opportunities, planning, recreation, altruistic acts. Quadrant 3, most phone calls, ball games on TV. They're urgent because you have to watch them now. Most meetings, most emails, but they're not as important. And finally, trivia, busy work, playing video games, drinking drugs, all not urgent or not important. The person should go quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Folks, I will send these to anybody who wants them, or I'll have them here if people want to download them. So, the only thing I can't do is the pictures are proprietary. So, everything else in this I can give you. The most frequent pattern for police officers: all urgent things, all not urgent things, and then not urgent, not important. Essentially, what they're doing, and by the way, this also happens to psychologists. This is a big one for psychologists. I will tell you, this thing has made it around more cop administrators. They love this. They absolutely love this. They live with it, they copy it, they put it up in their office. This is a really good tool when you're working with police officers. What they've done is they've basically taken non-important things and moved it to urgent, not important. When they do that, then the non-urgent important things will start to go over there. So relationships will start falling apart. Well, if you're not going to be around anymore, I'm just going to leave you. And all of a sudden they become urgent. And the whole life becomes very urgent. And then what does a person want to do? I just want to sit back and do nothing. I just want to sit back and do nothing. It's a desperation phase. This schematic alone can last you quite a few sessions because people will come back to this and come back to it. It gives them something to look at. It gives them a way to organize their life. And remember, therapy is about change. Therapy is about change. Not counseling, but therapy is about change. People that live in the urgent quadrants end up burning out. People in the not urgent quadrants become centered. People in the not urgent, not important become lethargic. Your average pot smoker. This is a schemata for people in living their life. This is one of the things that you'll see an epiphany on.